there are three major basics with puppets. The puppet substitution technique. Now, these three things are a little tricky at first to master because if you're using normal characters, you're not used to like the puppet dash or the substitution. It's the puppet control, which you can only do that with puppets, obviously, because they have puppets compared to normal characters where you have to rely on your guard or switch tech. We will also talk about the do nots do with puppets in this game, as well as just the puppet basics. We're not talking about the basics where you need to learn just as a normal character, because there are other basics you need to learn first. Like you need to learn how to dash with a normal character. You need to know the basics of Naruto, and then you go on puppet basics. If you're freshly new and you're using puppets, good for you. I definitely advise that, because that means you're gonna be a good puppet master at the very end. You will be like me, who just used puppets at the beginning and just like said fuck you to everybody and did my own thing. That's basically what you're going to be doing here. That's basically what you're going to be doing. So, the puppet techniques, the puppet dash. Now, the puppet dash is very unique on its own because, like I said, only puppets can do this. Characters can't dash like this. See, now, even I mess up. And I have mastered this technique. So if you mess up, that's fine. You're going to mess up a few times. The best puppet masters mess up on it. And that is fine. It's going to happen. Practice makes perfect. But it's really good to master this. Because it's really good. It's perfect to master this. The reason why you want to master this technique is because it's something unique only puppets can do. It puts pressure on the opponent. It allows you to pick up your puppets afterwards once you master puppet dash, which we will talk about that in the advanced stream, advanced puppet techniques in the stream. And it allows you to be more control of things on the battlefield when you're fighting someone. But like right there, you know, sometimes I mess up too. It happens. You will mess up on it. But I say practice this at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. I literally did this, no joke, without messing up. 3 hours straight. 3 hours. I'm not kidding. 3 hours straight. I wish I knew how to take screenshots back then. Because if I did straight puppet dashing 531 times without messing up. I thought my thumb was broken afterwards. I practice that dash so much, but the reason I still will mess up there and here, because I haven't practiced it that much, because it's really good to learn, but really when you're fighting someone, once you're fighting someone that's an expert, you're not going to be doing that puppet dash much because they can counter, or they know when to counter. So, no, you do need to master this technique. That is not that is one thing you need to do. These are the three techniques you definitely need to master. This is one of the three techniques you definitely need to master. But once you start fighting more expert people and once you start getting good with puppets, you start to realize some things. And you're just like, well, I might not do this, or I'll start doing this. When you're fighting against a low tier, this is perfect. It's just, you see more when you have more experience. So yeah, you need to practice that. There are 3 ways you can puppet dash. A lot of people don't know about this, but there are 3 ways. There's the neutral way. This is the way I don't recommend doing. Why? Because it leaves yourself vulnerable, and as a puppet master, you want to be in control. You want to be the puppet master. You want to have the strings. You want to be the marionette. And it just leaves you weak. Like, literally, if they're spamming jutsus on you, you literally cannot... You're not guarding. And that's pretty damn bad, because you don't want to have damage on you. Your guard is already weak enough. So you don't want damage on you. You don't want any sort of... You just want to be safe, really. And once you get good with puppets, and once you become like a master at them and everything, yeah, then go ahead and be reckless, because you're good enough. You could do that. You could make mistakes and still make a comeback. But as a starter, no, you don't want to be that. You want to be safe. You don't want to be all out there and be like, hello, my name is Kankuro, and you could counter me anytime I do this. Or you could jutsu me, or you can do whatever you want by doing the neutral. You don't want that. The safer route out of all three, though, and the safer route of all three, as well as the best dash, and the second best dash, is the guard dash. The guard puppet dash is this, where you are doing the puppet control, which we will talk about that in the second technique. That's one of the three major techniques you need to learn with puppets, or is that right there, is this, and we will talk about that in a minute. And then you dash. This is really good because you have control, you have ability. It doesn't waste as much chakra as the other two dashes would make you do. It is safer, granted, and that could be a bad thing or a good thing, but literally it keeps you stable, it keeps you pretty secure. Not like the other two dashes, though. You want to do this dash and master this dash when they're close up. So if they're in your face and, you know, you want to dash, guard dash is your best friend. Neutral dash, like I said, neutral dash just leaves you weak and open. Guard dash is your best friend. Guard dash is your best friend when they're up close to you, when they're pressuring you and you want them away from you, or if you want to do a combo, or if you want to run away but you have to dash to kind of paralyze them in a way, or trying to shock them, then definitely master the ground or the guard puppet dash. The third puppet dash, and the most common puppet dash from advanced puppet users that they use, is the sidestep. So basically, what you're going to do, is sidestep. And what you do is you sidestep and cancel it with a dash. And why Kankuro? This is really good long distance. Not so much close because it does leave you vulnerable. Now, if you want, you can implement both the dashes of guarding and sidestepping. If you do this, like, look at that. That moves the fucking frame. That's the best way to capture runaways, is through that, because this makes the sidestep makes your dashes faster, and it makes it longer, that I've noticed. I could be wrong on that, but what I've noticed is it makes it longer and it makes it faster, and it's better to do it long distance so you can capture runaways, as well as it still leaves you safe. And if you want to implement like how I do it, how I dash is I side and guard puppet dash. I do both at the same time because it's the most safe way, but it's the most advanced way to dash with puppets. And if you want to go that route, go ahead. I definitely advise it. But as of right now, I definitely advise just learning how to guard puppet dash for beginners, and then going to sidestepping, because sidestepping will screw you up. Like, you saw me screwing up multiple times doing it, and yet I've done this over 100 times. I've fought against top players and done it 100 million times. Yada, yada, yada. Now, here comes... Oh, before I go on to the second and third technique, or the second and third basic puppets, there's a big no-no with puppets when it comes to dashing. Oh, God. That's okay. That ninja dashing is okay. This is a ninja dash when you press X twice, because normally what puppet masters like to do is they like to dash and then ninja dash. Because they're like, oh, I guarded, now I can side. Yeah, no, you could dash again and they counter, but if you sidestep, if you ninja dash, you kind of be more safe in a way. It's hard to explain, but a lot of puppet masters do that. Why? I don't know. We do. I mean, you could do that. You could do so much with it. So that's okay. What's a big no-no, though, is dashing in the air with puppets. Oh my God, I cannot stress this enough. This is a big no-no. Why is this a big no-no? It leaves you vulnerable. It leaves you weak. You can't do another dash multiple times. The good thing about it, there is no good thing about it. I mean, it kind of leaves you more hard hitting. It kind of leaves it's more hard hitting than a normal dash, but at the same time, if you hamster dash, it's the same as air dashing. And you just don't want to air dash with puppets. It just leaves you vulnerable. Your puppet will be knocked down. You dash slower, as well as you kind of don't go as far. It's not worth it. It's really not fucking worth it. You need to practice ground dashing with puppets, and I would recommend guard, puppet dash, then neutral dash, and then if you want to sidestep dash, practice that too, but it's better to practice both for long distance and short range. But it's better to practice the guard first so you can be more safe, more secure, and just have a better control of the field. Like I said, you want to be the puppet master and the field. You don't want to be the other person. You want to be the puppet master. All right, let's go on the second technique, or the second puppet basic, puppet control. So this is basically puppet control. Oh my god, this might look easy and everything. Yeah, it is easy. You just move your puppet. I mean, once you get the movement down, it's really easy. So why is this so important? And why is this, in my opinion, the most important one out of the 3 that I teach? When someone's spamming over 20 million jutsus at you and just kept dashing you, throwing shuriken at you, doing ultimates left and right, when people are just doing that constantly, it gets annoying. So your best bet is puppet control, because guess what? This cancels the dashes. This cancels the jutsus. This will slowly get, if they're just spamming shuriken, so, you know, they're just like, oh, this will work on a puppet. Yeah, this works on puppet masters. Yes, this is how you definitely beat a puppet master. Oh boy. This is, that is how you beat them. They're like, no, just throw shuriken. You slowly move up, and then you will guard, puppet dash, and then you will ninja dash. That's what's so good about ninja dashing also. I forgot to imply this. Ninja dashing gets through those shuriken. Not enhanced shuriken, just the normal shuriken. So the normal kunai, it will go through. But enhanced shuriken, that's a little bit more hard to get over, and I will talk about that in the advanced tech, how to get over that. But it's still kind of hard. So, yeah, that's another good thing about ninja dashing, is it goes through shuriken. So basically what you want to do is puppet control. If they're just throwing shuriken at you, or if they're using a long distance character, so like Datara, Sekimitsukage, Tenten, what you want to do is your puppet control your way through, and then ninja dash through it, or you want to puppet dash and then ninja dash. That's how you get through those long range characters, as well as that's how you get through those jutsus, those fucking chakra dashes. And the bad thing about Storm 4, and the reason why it's harder to use puppets in Storm 4, it's not because how easily they're knocked down. Trust me, they're easily knocked down. And the puppets guards are weaker than normal guards. It's because how much a normal, like, advanced or top player or a really good player can do without backlash. Literally, I could just spam jutsu. I could just, like, literally, if I'm using a normal character, I can spam 3 jutsus without wasting chakra. And that's so hard, because literally, they can just spam jutsus while they're dashing at you, so they're weakening your guard, both your puppet and the puppet master guard, as well as they can easily pressure you, and that's pressuring you. So your best friend as a puppet master is not the puppet dash. It's not the substitution technique. I mean, the substitution technique is good too, and we will talk about what the substitution technique is in a minute. It's your fucking puppet control. This is your best friend. This is like, if you're using Older Conqueror, definitely when you're using Older Conqueror, this is your best friend. But with all the puppets, this is your best friend. This is how you get to be tricky, because like I could literally move my puppet all the way up here, and if I was using sorcery, this is your best friend as a sorcery player. But this helps you just get through those jutsu, this helps you get through those dashes and block everything, and then slowly but surely you will get through, and then you can pressure them with puppets. And trust me, once you learn how to pressure with puppets, that's pretty much GG. So that is puppet control, is just doing this. And I know this seems easy, and once you learn the movements, it looks easy. Trust me, it does. But when you're fighting someone, like I said, that's using 2 million jutsus at once and it keeps dashing you and pressuring you, that's your best friend, especially in this game. In other games, not really, but in Storm 4, hell yeah, that's your best friend. Alright, the third technique is a technique that I cannot show, sadly, because it's it involves the other person to do a input and for me to substitute. So basically, let's say I did a command for the jutsu, right? And they threw a shuriken or they did a jutsu, and I still did the jutsu, right? And if I sub, that jutsu will still go through even though you hit me. If I subbed, I have to sub. Big word right there. The reason why you have to sub is because the puppet is the command, not the puppet master. The puppet is the command. So let's say I do a command for a jutsu and I were to sub as the puppet master. As long as I don't sub more than 2 times, you can only sub once. If you sub more than 2 times, the input of the puppet will stop and the command will just cancel it, or the puppet will be knocked down. So you have to sub once, and if they were to throw a jutsu, shuriken, all that, and you still did a jutsu, or if you're using sorcery or a PTS Conqueror and did an ultimate, or if you did a shuriken or a tool, and the puppet did not get hit, and if you did not sub more than twice, the puppet will still have that command. Because like I said, it's not the puppet master that does the command, it's the puppet that has the command. So if I did the jutsu and they throw a shuriken, and if I sub, the jutsu will still go through. This is the biggest friend with sorcery. So yeah, this is what I teach my students, are the 3 basic techniques. And the substitution technique is a little bit more advanced than the other 2, because you have to know when your opponent's going to do something, you have to kind of read them, or you have to see it coming in a way. So that's what makes it kind of difficult to master. But once you master it, it's your best friend too. Like, all 3 of these are your best friend. And over the 5 years I've been playing competitively, and over the year I've been playing competitively in Storm 4, I've noticed that these 3 are your best friend. At least in Storm 4, these 3 are your best friends. And once you learn these techniques, you can go more advanced techniques like puppet cancel, where you can cancel your dash with puppets, as well as how to pick up your puppet after a counter, how to switch tech with puppets. I'm not really good with switch tech, but I'll show what I do know. But yeah, that's basically what the 3 things you're going to be learning with puppets as a beginner, and what those three are your best friend. Now another few tips. Big maps are a puppet's best friend, because it allows you to be safe from a distance. It allows the puppet to be up in their face. Granted, it could also be the opponent's best friend if they're just a jutsu spammer. So if you're fighting against someone like Rias or something, or Pen and Delight, who just jutsu spams all the time, or a lot of times that's what they're known for doing. Yeah, big maps can be their best friend too, but like I said, if you master puppet control, and if you secretly get your way through, and if you manipulate the field, and like I said, as a puppet master, that's what you want to do, is manipulate the field. And if you can manipulate the field, and if you manipulated the field successfully, you win. That's just how it works with puppets. At least, especially in this game, is just you have to be in control of the field. And if you're not in control of the field, then you lose. That's how it works. So big maps are your best friend because it allows you to be safe from a distance. It allows the puppet to be pressuring the opponent at the distance, like I said. And if you learn how to retract your puppet fast enough, so they, like, let's say they start pressuring you, and you're using a big map, or if you're on a big map, that's how fuck, I can't speak. I'm doing a tutorial video and I can't fucking speak today. That's what you're gonna have to learn how to do, is to retract your puppet quickly, as well as, like I said, puppet guard dash is your best friend when they're close range. When they're long range, sidestep is your best friend. So how do you retract your puppet quickly? Pretty much you guard, you unguard, and guard again. So you just press it twice, and they just come back quickly. And like I said, this is like I said, this is like your best friend. I am the Jester Gambler. I hope this tutorial video helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or you can message me on my PSN, frightpuppet, or I say the Jester Gambler, yet I use frightpuppet now. either way, I have an app for the Jester Gambler account, so if you want to message me on there, that's fine. If you want to message me on my Instagram, that's fine too. If you want to message me on my Discord, that's fine as well. So yeah, if you have any questions, yeah. I will also do a video how I practice puppets. I will do a video on each puppet master and what's unique about them and them only, as well as some fights with those puppets and using those techniques that I show. And then we will do an advanced, I was thinking about this so hard last night. I will do an advanced puppet like a puppet technique video at the very end, because there are some techniques that I'm still learning, and I've been playing puppets for 5 years, and I've been playing Storm 4 puppets for about a year, and there's still some things I'm learning about puppets. So yeah, we will do all those videos about either today or tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. I'm frightpuppet. I'm out.